it's me, Jade, and I'm here with Wendy. We've been talking about bulimia for the past few videos. Today we're going to be talking about our personal stories and struggles.
Dun 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 dun. A Jade abroad.
So here are some questions that you wanted to know about. Number 1. Why did you become bulimic and not anorexic? I know that sometimes people switch from one to the other, and I would be interested in knowing how you became one over another. Interesting question.
Right?
I didn't choose. It just happened.
Yeah, I'd say the same. Also, I use food as a coping method for dealing with stress and uncertainty and loneliness.
Right, I wanted to stuff my face all the time. Anorexia wasn't really an option.
No. I wanted to use food as a way to make me feel better, not avoid it. So anorexia wasn't really something that I could have done because I was so attached to the food and how it made me feel.
Right.
So it wasn't an option for me either.
I didn't even think about that. I guess I crossed over at one point when I was in Spain. I got very, very sick and I stopped eating for a bit. But then I quickly realized that I was a hungry girl and I wanted to eat all of my host mom's amazing cooking, so...
Yeah, food appreciation.
Yeah, food appreciation committee, the Bulimies.
That's basically the reason.
Right. Next question. How exactly did you hide the fact that you were bulimic? I mean, I talked about this in the previous video, but I hid in plain sight. I would announce to my friends.
Oh, I'm just gonna go and vomit because my stomach is bad.
And then come back.
Yeah, I just make excuses about my weak stomach or my intolerances to food. Yeah, just
Pretty much.
trying to make it seem as real as possible.
Yeah, try and make the vomiting as less noisy as possible.
Oh yeah, that's another one.
Run a tap, pad the toilet bowl with tissue paper and stuff.
You get used to, self.
Yeah, like you don't. But I didn't ever make any sounds.
I didn't
at the
either.
End.
I didn't
I
either.
would
Oh, I did
silently
silent.
vomit. Yeah, silent vomiting.
Quick and easy.
Yeah, quick, simple, done and down
Yeah.
within like a minute or two. Depends how many rounds you wanted to go through.
True.
This is disgusting, but
It is.
This is the
And
truth.
It's not something that you should put your body through or get used to.
don't do it. It doesn't even help you lose weight.
It's not good for anything.
It worsens everything.
Ruins your brain.
Yeah,
It's like a drug.
it is.
A really bad one.
So, next question. When did you first become bulimic and why? How did it start?
I don't actually remember the moment when it started, but this is something that I should probably spend more time on reflecting. I somewhat recall the beginning stages of coming home from a bar, from drinking heavily, and then doing the late night snacking, because that was the lifestyle in college.
Right.
And my way of punishing myself for doing those things.
Punishing.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's the word that I would use because
Ah.
it was a form of punishment. I made decisions that I wasn't proud of, and that was the way that I dealt with them. And yeah, I would use a word that strong to describe what I was doing to myself.
Interesting. Yeah. I would have used the word rewarding myself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very different sides of this.
Yeah, interesting. So, how it started for me was at university. There was a key moment.
This story's a bit long, so hold tight.
I lived with a roommate who also had an eating disorder at the time, but of course I didn't realize because I had no idea about that whole world. And there was also a guy at university that I liked. And we got really close and we were almost going to become an item, and then at the last minute he cut me off and said that he wasn't looking for a girlfriend, and then he got a girlfriend.
A week later.
And my roommate said,
Huh, I think that's his new girlfriend in the kitchen now. She looks just like you.
and I was like, huh, interesting. And I walked in and she did look very similar to me, except she was about 2 dress sizes smaller than me. I later found out this girl had anorexia, so I was basing my body and comparing myself to a...
Very sick girl.
And I thought,
Yeah, we are similar except that, so I should lose weight.
and then one day I was eating some chocolate-coated raisins in the kitchen, and it became a game of how many calories are in this bag, because my roommate came in and said, oh,
Did you eat that?
Entire bag.
And she said it with such shock and such disgust on her face. I was like,
Oh no, what have I done? What have I put in me?
so we spent time, me, my roommate, and another flatmate who was a maths whiz, trying to figure out how many calories were in the bag. And it turned out there were 3,000 calories in this one bag. My roommate looked like she wanted to kill herself on my behalf because I had just devoured all of these calories. And I just thought,
Oh my god, I need to get this out of me. I can't believe that I've done this horrible, hideous thing to my body.
I didn't even know what calories really meant back then, so I just went and I threw up. And that was my very first time. That's how it started.
Wow. People don't know the damage that they can do.
Right, their reactions.
They feel so horrible about themselves, and even with a really harmless interaction like that, you didn't
push
plan
you
for
over
any
the
of that.
edge. Yeah. Right? It's crazy how it can start.
Oh my gosh.
Wrong place at the wrong time, shall we say. So, next, did you crave control? Did you feel like you weren't in control of your life or your body, for example?
Yeah, we've talked about this.
Yes, we talked about this in a previous video, but for the case of this one, no, for the... I've lost the word. For the sake of this video, we'll go over it for you once more. Basically, it's all about control, right?
It is. It is. You feel so out of control in other areas of your life that you find this one thing that you are so in control of. You can control who knows about it, when it happens, when it doesn't happen,
How often it happens.
it's a response to what
Stress.
you're dealing with in life.
So I went to a therapist one time at university and she told me that I was using bulimia as a stress coping mechanism. I had no other way of expelling this stress and pressure that I had going on in my life, which I thought was interesting.
That's often how it happens for a lot of people. Unfortunately, if it's the ground running, it's really hard to reverse that.
Yeah, you feel like you're gaining control, but you're actually losing it.
Right.
You've lost all your control the minute that you develop an eating disorder.
Right, but your brain is talking you into this being a positive habit.
You've got your real voice and your insane voice.
And you start losing yourself because it is a mental issue and you can't discern what's healthy.
Who's got your best interest?
Exactly.
It's just a mess. Next. Did you just start thinking, oh, I want to be slim, so I will throw up? Or did the change come slowly over time? I mean, for me in that instant, it was, I want to get this thing out of me. And then I guess I realized how easy it was to get rid of extra food that you don't want in you. But the change definitely happened slowly. I didn't vomit again for I don't know how long after that.
Yeah, there was quite a gap in the first
few
the beginning.
sessions.
Right, exactly. I remember that happening to me too. Like, it didn't happen for a while, and then after, some time.
It was like, oh yeah, I can
I
just
can
do that.
Right,
Yeah,
I remember.
This is my backup card.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Next, did you see any symptoms related to bulimia? If so, how did you react to seeing them? Any symptoms? I mean, I guess the binging and purging was a big warning bell.
Right.
That took me a freaking year to see.
Yeah, I mean, the secrecy, hiding, I guess that's the symptom. Having, like, the gagging kind of reflex.
Yeah, I lost my gag reflex.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, which, it's great for sexual endeavors, but, but other than that,
Don't do it.
don't do it.
That was really funny, though.
Next, when did you first realize it was bulimia? Did it stop you? It took me over a year to realize it was bulimia.
Yep, same.
And no, it didn't stop me.
It didn't stop me either.
No, it just gave me more awareness.
It's like, even when you know what's happening, you still will continue it because it's a habit.
It's a habit that you've developed at that point, right?
Right.
The neural pathways, they're already connected.
Yeah.
So
And it feels good, like you're hitting that dopamine temporarily.
it does feel great. I loved it.
It does.
It made me really
It did.
happy.
Yeah.
Did, yeah, no longer. Although, every now and again, if I've drunk too much alcohol, I take a cheeky chunder and I just get like a split-second flashback of what it feels like.
Yeah.
And I get that rush, but I also have my fixated
No.
We're not going back down that road.
voice that's like protecting me at the same time.
That's good.
Yeah.
So that voice has risen, and that's
Yeah.
more of the default voice that you
Yes.
have now.
Now my default voice is
Screw that! No way! No, we're never getting back in that.
Yeah.
Did it end up well for you?
No.
yeah.
Your voices can change inside.
Yeah. which gives hope to those who are still going through this, I hope. You can get stronger and you can beat this.
Yeah.
So don't give up, guys.
No, never give up.
Next, what support or help did you seek at the time or over the years of recovery?
I went to a friend. It took me so much time and courage that prepared me to go to someone, that one person to confide in, because I had this,
Dirty little secret.
you know, that I needed to get off my chest to kind of free me, at least start the process of feeling freed from this
Yeah.
label that I was putting on myself.
Yes.
And
All this massive weight just on you, crushing you, right?
Yeah. Once I did that, and I felt so accepted and loved and unjudged by my friend who really understood me, even though she hasn't suffered from an eating disorder. She's gone through a lot of trauma and her own shit in life and therapy and everything. I knew that she would be the person that I could trust, and I was very lucky because I was right, and she was the type of person who took me in
That's great.
despite
So
what I was
important.
doing. Yeah.
So important to have that support network.
Yeah,
Even if it's
exactly.
just one person.
With families, it's really hard. Like, I still haven't opened up to my family about it.
Do you think you will?
Yeah, I think I will. I want to eventually, but I want to do it on my own time, and
Yeah.
I know that there will be a right time. It's just not right now.
Yeah.
How was that process like for you when you started?
Let's see, support and help. Well, I would always confide in my boyfriends, whoever I dated at the time, because there was no way I was going to be able to hide that from them 24/7 if we were always hanging out together. They tried in their own ways to help and support me, I guess, but being mere children at the time that we were and not having any experience with eating disorders, like, it was very difficult for them, I guess. I had this one guy, he would cry every time I told him I'd thrown up, but he asked me that I tell him that I'd thrown up, so then I would try and keep it a secret from him eventually because I didn't want to hurt him more, so it was like this whole thing. Then I also had a therapist. I applied in my final year of university, and I was finally seen a month before the end of the school year because the waiting list was that long.
Wow. So you didn't even have options ready and available to you.
Nope.
You actually
Yeah.
was ready to seek help.
Exactly. I was ready to get help, and it took me basically a year before I could actually get anything.
Wow.
But that therapist, I went to see her 3 times, and then school ended. And in those 3 sessions, she told me it was a coping mechanism. She told me that actually the main issue was that I was dating a dominator. She handed me a booklet after my first session called How to Spot a Dominator. And I was like, oh, I'm in an abusive, emotionally unhealthy relationship.
Are you doing therapy now?
Yes.
Have you continued your journey to recovery even after you overcame
I guess so,
bulimia?
yes. So recently I've started seeing an amazing therapist. Her name is Naomi, and she is a specialist in EFT. And it's where you get to the core of why you behave a certain way, all of this stuff. I've been working on my body dysmorphia with her, and my self-confidence is slowly going up now. I feel in so much better shape.
I'm so proud of you.
So Wendy's also going to start
Tomorrow's the next day.
So thank you, Naomi. I'm going to put her information in the description of this video for anybody else who would like to work on their issues and get their shit sorted and become better people.
Yeah.
Level up, level up, level up. So next question. What help or support worked, if any? I'd say it all worked. Everything that I did worked.
It's great.
Your friend helped you, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. She actually gave me resources, or she recommended me finding a group, and I got information from there to educate myself, but I never actually joined a group because
Too scared?
I was scared, and I was so busy at the time that I just put it on the back burner.
Right.
And to this day, I still haven't found a group, but I found individuals who I can trust, so I think that counts for just as
We
much
found
as...
each other.
Yes.
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 This is so therapeutic in itself,
It is,
right?
it
Just finding
is.
common ground.
Yeah,
We're
this is
not
the reason
alone.
why, one of the reasons why we wanted to do this,
Right.
because once we opened up about this, it was like, wow, we can be honest in other ways as well.
Yeah.
Maybe we can help other people with this stuff.
Help people
Yeah.
understand, and yeah. The world's your oyster.
That's right.
I downloaded this ebook on your roadmap to bulimia recovery. I found that resource online as well that helped me journal a little bit at the beginning. I can maybe drop that in the video for you guys if I can find it. Next question. Why do you think you're fat? Good question. Because I'm not skinny?
I don't think I'm fat. I just think that there's a lot of things that I'm unhappy with about my body. There are things that I feel
My stomach is too big.
I feel like I have fatty areas. Right.
I don't think I'm a fat person, but I don't have the ideal body that I've been telling myself I should have.
Yes, it's all that, right? Ideals.
You don't have to think you're fat to have these disorders either. You're just not happy with your body image in general. Or like we've been talking about, you're not happy with your life, the general direction that you're taking your life.
Exactly.
But there are things that tell us as people and as women that
We're not good enough.
and that we
our
are.
worth is defined by our body shape.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to escape that. Social media, advertisements,
Influencers.
people's mindsets, the way people raise their children sometimes.
The way people portray themselves on social media, right? Everything is filtered,
Yeah.
changed to perfection.
Angled
I know.
perfectly.
I know I'm guilty of it too on my
Oh,
social
me
media.
too.
I never put out an ugly photo of me.
Why would you want to do that?
I mean, unless I'm like
The
laughing
real
at
you.
myself for fun.
You want to portray yourself as you want people to see you, and
Exactly.
for some reason, face value is what society prioritizes. But you are much more than what you look like. It's more about
Who you are deep down.
deep inside.
Remember, Simba. Next one. Is it down to self-confidence, not feeling good enough? Yeah, I'd say so for me.
Not feeling good enough? Yeah.
Yeah, bulimia was a way to boost my confidence, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you boost the level of control you have, then you boost like
right.
your
You feel
confidence.
like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'd
I
say
would
so.
say the same.
Okay, next one. How long did you have it for?
For over 4 years for me. Which is really crazy to think about. I know that people struggle for years and years, and I honestly feel quite lucky to have overcome my bulimia in that time span, because I know there are people who live with it for
Years. Yeah, I had it for 6 or 7 years.
yeah, that's a lot of time.
Yeah, too long. I'm so happy that you got out of it a lot sooner. It's a headbanger. The next one, when did you stop? I stopped, I think it's a year ago, a year and a half, maybe even 2 years.
Wow.
Pretty recently.
I would like to say the same thing, but I actually had a relapse maybe a couple months ago. And I was very consistent before then, and I wasn't really thinking about it. And then one night, I was just feeling really awful about myself, and it was the way that I dealt with my emotions at that time. Thanks.
I didn't know this. You
Yeah,
should have
I wanna-
messaged me.
See, again, this is something that I still need to work on. It's like
Right. Asking for help when you need it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Reach out,
exactly.
babes. I'm here.
Yeah, not a proud moment, but since then, I haven't really thought about it.
Oh, babes.
So-
I'm sorry. But hey, this is real.
It's real,
This is
and
what
it
you
happens, yeah.
Relapses are okay. You can get through them. Keep pushing.
Doesn't mean you have to give up if you
Right.
have that one
Blip.
I'm glad that I was able to get back on the horse after
Yes. There we go.
And, yeah.
Commendable.
that. Yeah, thank you.
This is how we do it. Get back on that horse. Don't stay down.
Like, you can have a bad day and then feel what you're feeling and accept that happened.
Yeah. And move on.
Move
Write
on.
that day off.
Reach out to people who you can confide in, and it'll be a better release than vomiting.
Definitely.
Having someone on your side or someone to listen to and understand what you're going through, or at least be there for you,
Yeah.
to not judge you and show you love is really important. That's priceless, and it'll make you feel much better than any other thing that you can do to harm your body.
Preach.
Preach.
Preach. Okay, so thank you so much for joining us today. This was our personal experiences part 1. Tune in next time for our personal experiences part 2 because we got a lot of questions on this. And if you have any comments or questions, please comment down below. Please like it. And of course subscribe for more.
So be sure to check out my website. I run a website and blog, A Journey for Wisdom, with my now husband. So please check it out. And also we have a podcast, Don't Tell My Grandma. You can find it on all podcasting platforms. So please check us out and let us know what you think. So,
Yeah.
thank you guys.
Show Wendy some love.
Yeah, I need it.
Thanks guys.
See you in the next video.